Now I've got to adjust my zooming. There we go. Okay, well, welcome everyone. We're just starting the pre-streaming checks. So we're just waiting for everyone to join us and just getting everything in order. So yeah, we're due to start at, double check the time, in 2 minutes officially. So yeah, we're just, feel free to join me in the meantime, and we're gonna just have a look around while we're waiting for the official stream to start. Over here, we've got one of our curators, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, having a cuddle with one of our meerkats.
Hi!
Having the best time. Adorable.
Hallo. Dat is je altijd wel.
Now, trying to get my, oops, sorry, excuse the tapping, trying to get my, just trying to get my technicals working. Let's see here. Let's show comments. There we go. Okay, so let's see. We've got 5 people on Facebook, some on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. We're just waiting for everyone else to join us. In the meantime, we're taking a look at our meerkats, who are enjoying the morning sun.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Where? Yeah.
Is the eagle in the sky?
Yeah, too.
Ah, okay, so the meerkats, our meerkats are seeing some eagles in the sky. Don't know if you'll be able to see them. Let's see if we can spot them. Oh, there they are. Oh, wow. There they are. So our meerkat spotted them already. And they're circling there. Not sure what kind of eagle that might be. Might be black eagle? Uh-huh. Thank you, Magda. We also feel it's a awesome place. And yes, welcome everyone. We're still just waiting for a few more people to join us. And then we'll be going into our snake park for our snake day event. But in the meantime, we're enjoying the sun out here with our meerkats who have just dipped around the corner. There's one down there. Okay, so yes, we're going to be starting any minute now. Like I said, we're just waiting for a few more people to join us, and then we'll be going on a tour through our snake park. We're going to be talking about our various reptiles, their conservation status, what we're doing with them here at the ranch, what they mean for us, you know, just as reptile enthusiasts, and you know, their day-to-day, the behind-the-scenes stuff, their day-to-day living, and how we look after them. And so if you have any questions, it's a good idea to start getting them in your minds in the meantime, and you feel free to ask as we go. There will be like an official Q&A towards the end. We've got a very special thing we're going to be doing with our green anaconda. So we're going to be starting with a few of our other animals. We're going to start actually with the green anaconda. It's an they might be inside. It is quite cold today, so I think most of them are in their enclosures, in their tunnels, keeping warm. Very graceful, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃.
You got that online.
Okay, great. So I think we can get started. Yeah. All right. Maybe first thing we'll do then is introduce our hosts today. So you want to come forward and just tell us who you are and what we're going to be doing with you today.
Hi, my name is 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I'm Assistant Curator. We'll take you guys through our snake park and explain to you guys what's happening inside.
Fantastic.
Hi everybody, my name is 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. I'm the Senior Animal Assistant and welcome to Cango Wildlife Ranch.
Wonderful. Okay, thanks guys. Well, after you, let's get going. Let's go meet our beautiful slithery snake friends. Alright, let's just get the lighting in here. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Who are we starting with here?
The green anaconda.
Our green anaconda. Okay, there she is. Alright, are we doing male or female? What's her status?
We don't know the gender of the...
Oh,
I
okay.
suspect that is a female.
Right, okay. So we don't know her gender. Is there a particular reason that we haven't looked at it yet? I suppose when it comes to looking up snakes, if I remember correctly, one of the ways you do it is you have to kind of lift up their tail,
Yes.
and you then, and that can be
Probing,
stressful for the animal, I imagine. So we only do it when we have to, right?
That's true.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, for the time being, she's ungendered, but we'll call her a she because she just looks like a she. She's just big and beautiful, and we're going to meet her in detail later. So we'll leave her for now. We'll move on to our next enclosure. Now, we do have other reptiles in here. It is the snake park, but we have a few other reptiles. So we'll just do a quick introduction of those reptiles, but we'll mostly be focusing on our snakes. So here we have, what do we have here?
The Mexican beaded lizard.
A Mexican beaded lizard. Oh, he's interesting. Okay, and I see he's got yellow markings in black. Is he venomous?
Yes, they are mildly venomous.
Mildly venomous. What kind of venom?
They have a hemotoxic.
Hemotoxic. Okay, hemotoxic, if I remember correctly, means it affects the blood, yes? Okay, so they have a hemotoxic venom. Obviously very lively. It is winter down here, so they're going to be a little sleepy. Probably as the day warms on, they'll get a bit better. I should just mention to everyone watching that our snake park doesn't have the best reception. So while we're doing this live stream, if you're struggling to hear me or if the stream cuts out a little bit, please bear with us. And also, you feel free to let me know in the comments if you're having any trouble hearing or if you'd like us to repeat things, and we will gladly do that so that we can help you understand our animals here better and make sure your viewing pleasure is uninterrupted. Okay, so let's move on then to our first main snake we're going to be talking about. What have we got here?
We have a royal python.
Royal python. Okay, and they have another name, don't they? Ball python.
Ball python.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, that was it.
ball
Yes.
python, that's
So
it.
ball python because they roll up into a ball, I think is the thing. But royal python because you can wear them as a crown. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you said it was female, yes?
Yes, female.
All right, and venomous, non-venomous?
Constrict.
A constrictor. Okay, so for our viewers at home, what is a constrictor?
A constrictor is basically an animal that catches its prey, constricted, and killed it by suffocation.
Okay, okay. So can you demonstrate, 𝗕𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, can you demonstrate constricting on him?
So they normally do this and then they... But that's
Beautiful.
how they consider.
Okay, and then they swallow them whole. So Kevin,
Yeah.
watch out. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got a constrictor here. It's our royal python. Where are they from?
They are basically from Senegal. You'll find them in Western Africa, from Senegal all the way around Malawi, till up to Uganda.
Okay, okay, so they're quite well spread there. I know that they're also very popular as pets because they're very easy to keep. But you know, I would say it's a good starter snake, although corn snakes are probably better in that regard. But you know, we're not a huge fan of the reptile trade overall, unless it's properly regulated. But anyway, that's a separate story. For the time being, we're looking after our beautiful snake here. They are on the conservation status. They're currently under least concern, so that's a good thing at least. At least well respected. So tell me a bit about her enclosure here. I see there looks like some new plants have been put in.
Yeah, we normally try to plant some plants to give it moisture. We also do some misting. We do thinning as well. We try to keep the enclosure organic.
Great. Okay, so nice, organic, warm, and tailored enclosure. Being from West Africa, I imagine they need quite a bit of, as you said, what's the word I'm looking for? Humidity, right? Yes, quite a bit of humidity. Yeah. And obviously different snakes will need different things. I think we're getting to a desert snake in a little bit. So yeah, so that's good. Okay, that's looking at a beautiful enclosure. So the animal husbandry is the term for when your practices involving and looking after a particular animal and their needs. And I think that we've nailed it on the head for some of these snakes, if I do say so myself. Okay, so, and everyone, please feel free to ask questions as we go while I'm showing you these animals. So next we've got our beautiful radiated tortoises. Why don't you tell us a quick bit about them? I think they are quite special.
Yes, indeed. I've known them when they were still little babies, and they've grown over the time, and they are so close to our heart. So that's why we look after them, you know, spoil them with enrichment, look after their enclosures, and make sure that they are well looked after.
Okay. And they are, if I remember correctly, they are critically endangered, and we've got a breeding program for them, don't we?
Yeah. These guys, they are originally from Madagascar, and since you mentioned that they are critically endangered, we have two old radiated tortoise that normally breed. Their genetic is very good, and these guys, they were born here in 2019. They are now 5 years with us. Yeah, and we do a lot of enrichment. We also pride ourselves to put them up on display to show that we actually breed with a critically endangered species.
Okay, great. And they're looking very healthy. A lot of people might not know this, but one of the ways you can check if a tortoise is doing well is the shape of their shell. If they have calcium deficiencies or vitamin deficiencies or various other things, their shell can distort. And you can then see from that how they might not be well. But as you can see, our radiated tortoises, their shells are all fairly similar. So that indicates that we're doing something right, I think. Yeah.
Supplement for them.
Supplement, yes, that's very important, because obviously they're not out in the wild. They'll need supplements, adding calcium and vitamins to their food, making sure they get all the relevant nutrients they need.
Also the UV lights as well.
Yes.
It's very important for them.
Yes, so obviously in front here that's their heating lamp. The UV light is, I think, above them. It's a bit hard to see if I can't twist it out, but up there'll be a UV light, ultraviolet. Sorry, where is it? It's up here, right?
Also, yeah.
Oh, it's up there. They get a lot of their energy and important health from exposure to sunlight, as do we all. We should all get more sunlight. Okay, great. Well, let's head on then to our, what is it? Cape Cobra. There he is. Okay, Cape Cobra. There we go. So tell us a little bit about him.
So this is our beautiful Cape Cobra. She's a female, and she loves to spend time basking and overall loves to explore in the enclosure. She also loves to dig around. Yeah, that's basically what she's doing.
Yeah.
In the meantime, she'll love, you know, especially when we put new plants in, loves to snuff out, make sure she knows what's in her enclosure.
Yeah, she was watching us there as well. I love Cape Cobras. They're absolutely stunning. And they come in different color variations as well. So this one's kind of a mustardy brown. We get, what other colors do we get?
Get yellow as well.
Yellow, bright yellow.
Yes. A darkish color with light brown speckles as
light
well.
Brown, okay. And I think I've seen very, very light, like almost, not white, but like cream colored as well. Yeah, so, and speckled color. They come in a variety of colors. Yeah. We call them morphs. All right, you can see their beautiful color here. And they are, their conservation status isn't very high, so that's good. They are also toxic. They have, is it neurotoxic venom?
Neurotoxic venom.
Neurotoxic venom. And of course, you know, as the name suggests, neuro, so they work with neurology, so your nerves. And, you know, you get bitten by that and it's definitely going to interfere with your muscles, make it hard to breathe.
Yes.
Yeah, so hospitalization as soon as possible if you're unlucky enough to be bitten by one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. All right, if anyone again has any questions, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, we're going to move on from our Cape Cobra to one of our more interesting residents, the Malagasy giant hognose snake. Now, where is she? I think she's, oh, there she is, right there. Right there. Can you see? I hope you guys can see him. Now, you see the nose there. It's a bit hard to see because it's a bit pixelated, but the nose is a bit squished, obviously giving it the name, hognose, right? Why do they have the hognose?
They have their nose for digging. They love to dig. Yeah, so they go through the soil digging, you know, yeah.
Looking for prey?
Looking for prey,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
What would they eat?
They mostly eat rodents. They will also eat birds. Yeah.
Okay, rodents and birds. Yes, the famous underground birds. Okay, so sorry. Apparently, I've been getting comments and people have been asking questions, but for some reason, my chat questions weren't popping up. 1 second, everyone. I really want to hear what everyone has to say. Oh, there we go. Okay, I've been missing questions. I'm so sorry. It's I'm using a new program and I didn't really see there. So Samantha says hello from Eastern Cape. Hope everyone is well. Samantha, hello from the Western Cape. We're very happy to have you here with us. Let's see, Kylie says radiated tortoises are critically endangered because they have the most beautiful shell. Also true. I think a lot of animals, right, they get endangered because people want something from them or destroy their habitats. But yes. Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to keep an eye on, I'll fix the comments now, so I do see your comments. I'm keeping an eye. Okay, so there's our hognose, and it's unfortunate we can't see too much of her, but I'm seeing, you can see her coloration there. She's very, very beautiful. The kind of yellow and black and white speckles, very, very stunning. We've got a little photo here, so you can see her a bit better there. So that's what she looks like when she's not hiding. And as the photo suggests, she's from Madagascar. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. Up to 150 centimeters, so they're quite big. Well, I suppose the name's, it's in the name, isn't it? Giant hognose snake. But stunning. Maybe we'll catch her on the way out if she comes out again. All right, let's move on. So let's see. Here we've got a yellow spotted Amazon turtle. Where is she?
In the water.
Oh, she's in the water. Oh, wow, yeah, I thought she was a rock for a second there. So there she is. Beautiful little thing. So we've got more of these in our Malawi tank, yes. Right, yes. Okay, so why is she separated?
She's very small, and those guys, they normally fight among each other.
Okay.
So we try to keep her up until she's the same size as those ones, and then we'll put them.
She can hold her own, and yeah. That's good. Okay, so again, and if we look at the enclosure, sorry, I also want to look at I want to just get a bit technical. If we look at, so when we're talking about the ground for an animal enclosure, we call it substrate. So you can see here as well the substrate for the giant hognose, right? We've got a lot of, even the enclosure itself can be of enrichment for animals. So again, we give them the opportunity to perform their natural behaviors, right? So hognose, as Kevin said, loves to dig. So we've got a nice thick layer of substrate here. This actually goes a bit further down than you think it does, and they can go under there, they can dig it. We've got, replicating what would probably be similar to the ground found in areas of Madagascar and rainforest, so they can feel that stimulation while they're digging and going underneath and looking for things. We offer them branches and other things they can climb through. There's water as well, so they can feel all these extra little stimulations. And then by every now and again changing up the enclosure, whether that's just moving plants around, shifting the soil, adding new smells, it all stimulates them further. Yes. Yeah. And same here, obviously, we've got the Amazon turtle. Now, this closure is a little less, it's a little sparser, but it's closer to what they would enjoy because they're obviously not going to need, tons of outside plants and branches. They will need their water, nice area they can bask, areas where they can move around without getting stuck with their shell. So again, takes extreme care to make sure that we keep the animal in a place that makes them happy. And we've got running water as well because they spend most of their time in the water, so constantly fresh flow of running water going through. Whereas with the other snakes, we may just change the water out every now and again instead. They don't need a constant fresh supply in the same way. Kylie's asking a question. What is something people can do to avoid a snake bite if they encounter one? Is it true they are blind unless someone moves? Okay, so 2 questions there. First, snake bite encounters. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's go talk about the red adder. It's actually a perfect opportunity to talk about that kind of thing. The red adder being a venomous type snake, which often has these issues. So let's take a look here. Oh, right here, wow, okay. Beautiful. Okay, so here's our red adder. All right, so why don't you give us a rundown of the red adder? Where are they from, first of all?
They're from Eastern Cape and also by the Western Cape bordering on the northern.
Okay, so Samantha, you hear that? They're from your neck of the woods, the Eastern Cape. Okay, and a bit of the Western Cape as well. All right. And they are obviously venomous. What kind of venom do they have?
They are mildly cytotoxic.
Mildly cytotoxic. Okay, so again, we break it up, right? Cyto, cell, toxic, obviously toxic, it's venomous. So cell, so it'll be cell damaging. So similar to a puff adder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and mildly. So hopefully the symptoms of a bite wouldn't require you to rush to the hospital, but I wouldn't leave it either. Oh, great. And what's special about this particular guy? Why do we have him here?
So we have actually we've got 18 of this adder species, which 12 of them are dwarf adders, which Southern Africa hosts 10 of them.
Oh wow, okay, so we've got a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I know we have berg adders in this area as well. I'm not sure if they're related, but they look very similar. I mean, they must be related. Obviously, adders are all fairly related, but berg adders have, I think, a slightly different face, but also very interesting. They're very, very beautiful. Okay, so you can see the size of it. Now, if you were walking in the veld or in the mountain, and you can see they've got such lovely coloration, but that obviously helps with keeping them hidden and camouflage when they need to be when hunting prey, but also to avoid predators like birds. And of course, you get a big, dumb, stupid human who comes walking around the rocks and might see them, might not see them. What can we tell people if you're out there walking? What can you do to avoid stepping on or being involved in let's say, an altercation with a venomous snake?
So first of all, the coloration of the snakes and the way they can camouflage is very good. So it's not easily seeing a venomous snake when it's in the bush or in the wild. So you have to really look where you're stepping and, have a close look. So I would say snakes, first of all, they would try in any cost to avoid any contact. If only if you corner them or they get nowhere to go.
Or if you step on them accidentally.
Or when you step on it, But they are really good at hissing, so you can pick up that maybe. And then to avoid it, it will be the best way, I would say, not to step on it. But in a case where you might get bitten, sometimes they can also give you a dry bite, because venom is very important to snakes. They want to use it only on their prey. So they are very smart, they are very, very intelligent. So if you can try to avoid them, do that at all costs.
Okay, so to summarize, right, let's say you're out walking you're taking a hike. First of all, be aware of your surroundings. Ideally, I think even research what kind of snakes you might get in your area. If you have like a book, you can even take with you so you can, identify them. Keep an eye out while you're walking around. Be mindful of where you're stepping. Big one as well is, wear nice thick boots. So if they do bite, you've got at least the layer of boots between you and the snake, because most bites happen on ankles, feet, as well as hands. Because a lot of people will sometimes they'll be climbing up a mountain, they'll just put their hand in a crevice or a rock, or they'll even lift a rock or something with their hands, and then they get bitten because the snake is sitting under there minding its own business, and you stick your hand into its face. I would bite someone if they did that too. So yeah, be mindful. If you're going somewhere and you're planning on climbing and whatnot, take a stick perhaps and clear areas where you're going to be putting your hand. That's always a good idea. Further as well, make sure that if you do get bitten, identify where you've been bitten, identify what you've been bitten by, because when you go to a hospital, if you can identify and explain what the snake looks like, they might be able to help in with the relevant anti-venom. And yeah, everything else. At bottom line, the snake is not going to come after you. It's just minding its own business. It'll feel you coming. If you're stepping along, your big human vibrations under the ground, they'll sense you coming. So they'll either try and get out of the way, in which case leave them to go. They're not coming after you. They're trying to leave, or they will hiss and alert you that you're there. In which case you can then make an effort to move out of their way, because at the end of the day, it's their territory too. Okay. Thanks, Kevin, and thanks for the interesting question, Kylie. And one more question. 𝗵𝗃𝗃, maybe you can answer this one. It says, is it true that they are blind unless someone moves? So how do snakes detect, how do snakes detect their prey?
Through evaporation. So that's when they will start being alert, and then as well they will also see not color like us, but they also see out of color.
Okay, we've got, and I think it also depends on the snake, because obviously snakes will be adapted to different things. So vibration's a big one. I think all snakes can detect vibration in that way. We're not seeing it at the moment, but if he licks out his tongue comes out, and that's how they smell, right? They collect particles from the air, and then they go in, that's their version of smelling. Some snakes also have heat pits in the front of their, you can't really see it here. If you look up emerald tree boa, you can see big depressions in their face. That's the heat pits. And if you've ever seen the movie Predator, that's what it looks like, right? It's that, excuse me, it's that heat sensitivity, so they can pick that up. And as 𝗵𝗃𝗃 was saying, they also detect forms of color, certain forms of color, which can help them as well with their movements, because they've got slit-eyed pupils, much like a cat, so they will absorb sunlight in a different way to the rest of us. When I say absorb sunlight, into the eyes, obviously, yeah. Okay, collared iguana is our next one. Where's our oh, there we go. It's chilling just on his hammock near the heating lamp. Oh yeah, exactly where I want to be. There we go. Okay, so let's quick about the collared iguana, and then we'll move on to our next one. Where are they from as well? Also Madagascar, it seems. Yeah. Okay, great. And why are they called the collared iguana? We can't really see from here. Oh, he's shedding as well. Okay, so you see that little tuft of skin at the top there is in the middle of a shed. Okay. And they shed. Why do they shed, Kevin?
They basically shed to get rid of the old skin, to get the new skin, because there's between the old skin and the new skin, there's a layer, oily layer. So yeah, in this case,
So in the same way that we're shedding skin all the time to renew our skin layers, they just do it all at once. It's very convenient. Oh, great. Okay, and this here's the picture, just in case you want to get an idea of what it looks like from the front.
You can see the collar. You ask why they call them collared iguana, because of their black collar that stand out against the grayish brown.
Okay. So very spot on. All right. Great, and let's move on to the animal that gives me nightmares, the forest cobra. So that's what they look like when they're hooding, and they're as in the trees. Now, I would say every terrifying stereotype you ever hear about a snake is all because of the forest cobra. I wouldn't exaggerate too much. I have a bias. Not against them, they just, for me, they're the stuff of nightmares. Okay, why don't you guys give us a rundown? Where are the forest cobras from?
The forest cobra, we normally found them from Zimbabwe, Kenya, Zambia, Malawi, DRC as well. Okay, so
like Central Africa, basically? Yeah. Okay, all right. And what kind of venom do they have?
They also have neurotoxic.
Neurotoxic, okay. Okay.
Neuro and cytophysic.
Oh, neuro and cytophysic. Oh, wow, okay. So again, affects the nerves, and cytotoxic also affects the cells, so double whammy. Yeah. And they're quite long, very long and sinuous. How long is a forest cobra on average?
They can get up to 2 meters.
2 meters?
Yeah.
2 meters in length.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And obviously, really well, as you can see, very well designed to be in the branches, in forests, crawling around, and they've got quite the mean face. Now, while I was saying they're the stuff of nightmares, I used to work with them, and they are incredibly aggressive and very unpredictable. So not suitable as pets at all, but absolutely beautiful, stunning creatures nonetheless. Yes. Very dangerous though, but important to know about. And still incredible animals to look at. So what is the name of, do we have a name for this one? this forest cobra?
Don't have.
Ah,
Not yet.
yeah, fair enough. Okay, so maybe you guys can comment some names for our scary forest cobra here. Okay, and they eat, what do they eat? Oh, much like other reptiles and snakes, they'll eat the birds, mice, little lizards, things like that.
Yeah, rats
All
as
right.
well.
Okay, so that's our forest cobra. Let us head to our next one, one of the world's most feared and well-known snakes, the black mamba, who is there in the corner. Okay. So sorry, it is winter at the moment, so our snakes are well hidden in their enclosures in general, trying to keep warm, sitting on our heating mats and near the heating lamps. So not a great view, but I'll see if I can just show you this picture of them over here. So they're called the black mamba not just because of their black skin, but the inside of their mouth is also black, as you can see there. Yeah, very dark purple. So when they open their mouth to bite or to warn off people, then they have that blackness that's so terrifying. Okay, so where are black mambas based?
Angola, Botswana, also like central of Africa, DRC, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia.
Oh wow, okay, so central, southern Africa, so they're quite widespread.
Yeah.
And what kind of venom do they have?
The type of venom they have is neurotoxic.
Neurotoxic, okay, again, so nerve destroying. But I know that, and now, just because of a certain type of venom, it depends on how much venom is injected, also the quality of the venom. Some snakes, like black mambas, their drop of their neurotoxic venom will be far more devastating than, let's say, even the forest cobra or the 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏. Sorry, you're welcome to your party. Right. So a bite from a black mamba will be significantly more devastating than from other snakes, and that's why they're so dangerous, and why a lot of deaths from snake bites involving venomous snakes in Central Southern Africa can come from black mambas. And they're also, if I remember correctly, you guys can correct me on, I think they're one of the fastest snakes in the world.
True, yes.
Yeah. What was their? I'm trying to remember their speed. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll try and remember it before the end. But they have an incredible speed. They're very, very fast, and it's not just their bite. Their actual ability to move quickly across the ground is almost unparalleled. They're very, very quick. Okay, so that is our black mamba, and again, you can see the enclosures being kind of tailored to what they would need out in the wild. So again, we've got the nice soft substrate here for them, so it's more like a forest floor, and they sometimes go in the trees, but they're more likely found kind of mid-range to low-range in the forest, and you can see across here, very similar to Angola style of forestry. Okay, and here's our last guy in our snake park. Who do we have here?
We have the Southern African rock python.
Southern African rock python. She's quite big. How big is she?
She's 4 meters, but they can weigh, they have been recorded to 6+ meters.
Okay, wow, so 4 to 6 meters. Our one is about 4 meters. How heavy is she?
She's weighing now at 20 kilograms.
20 kilograms,
Yeah.
Okay, incredible. So imagine carrying that around your neck. All right, and also this is not a venomous snake, this is also a constrictor, yes?
Yes, it's a constrictor.
Okay, so again, using its tremendous bulk and its pure muscles just to squeeze its prey to death and then swallow it whole.
Yeah.
All right, and where are they from mostly? Well, okay, it was in the name, right? Southern African rock python. So if you're in Southern Africa, if you're near some rocks, you'll find a python.
You also mentioned earlier about the royal python that have that heat pits. The African rock python also have heat pits to detect body heat. Yeah.
Let's see if we can, I think I can zoom in a bit. It's a bit hard to see, but if you look at so that's its nose sticking out there, and there's a line for its mouth. Just above it, there are some divots, and I think those are the pits. It's a bit hard to see there. But yeah, okay. So that is our rock python. Now we have a couple of questions coming in, but I think we can head out in the meantime, and we'll get to our green anaconda and our special interaction there. Thanks everyone. Now while you guys are setting up for that, I'll answer some questions. All right, so again everyone, we're just heading off now to our green anaconda. We're going to take her out, we're going to check how she's doing, and then we're going to weigh her. So you're going to get a full view of her size, her strength. We'll take a look, see if we can see her heat pits as well. We'll just get a nice view of our beautiful big green girl. Well, okay, I call her a girl. We don't really know, but I'm going to assume she's a girl for the time being. All right, so let me answer some questions here. Kylie's saying, what is the scariest snake for 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃 and Kevin? What is their scariest snake account? Okay, so we'll start with you, Kevin. So what is the scariest snake that you have for you in general, and your scariest encounter on the ranch with a snake?
Definitely the black mamba, because it's very...
Was it what 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃 you're saying? Yeah.
It's lightning fast, and you know, you don't want to take any chances with it. Yeah, definitely. One bite, you know, close to the heart, 20 minutes without treatment, you die.
Also true, and the anti-venom isn't easy to come by, and even especially in recent years, they've kind of limited the amount of anti-venom, and they tend to keep anti-venom for specific snakes in the area where they're prevalent. So if you if you go to a place where black mambas are found, you're more likely to find anti-venom there at those hospitals. Here in 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, we don't get black mambas except in enclosures, so we're less likely to get, so we have to be very, very careful. Okay, and Samantha asked, how quickly can the venom from a black mamba do severe damage to an adult? So you said, I think 20 minutes, right, after a bite. It's 20 minutes to a bite and that's death. How long do you have to get to hospital before the venom does serious? Okay, so from the bite, you have roughly 20 minutes, because it depends as well on how we manage the bite, right? Because there are ways to wrap the wound, to restrict. It used to be back in the day, you put a tourniquet on, you squeeze, and you prevent any blood from moving. But the more recent updates to that whole method is you let the blood circulate because it diffuses the venom. But in exchange, that's very possible that you might then have the symptoms more acutely. But okay, so what is, perfect question right now, what is the protocol if you right now got bitten by, let's say, the black mamba or any of our venomous snakes? What is our protocol here at the Wildlife Ranch?
So firstly, you should be calm. And then,
so no panicking, no screaming, I got bit by a black mamba!
Because you want to prevent, working yourself up, and by stressing, you will cause the venom to spread even faster to your body. So what you should do is just calm down, make sure that the animal is in the enclosure, and then... that it hasn't escaped or anything. Because obviously we work with the animals, we have to take them out, we have to check on them, weigh them, make sure they're okay, so there's opportunity for something to go wrong. So of course, if you do get bitten, panicking, dropping the snake, letting it run off isn't going to help anyone. Not
so slow down, put the animal back.
Then my colleague will then, radio maybe the managers, or even go for help if she doesn't have a radio. And in the meantime, I have to just try to calm myself down.
So okay, very important as well. You guys do this in twos or more, right? Always have a buddy.
Always have a buddy,
even with the non-venomous snakes as well.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the when I used to work here and I used to work in reptiles, and I was young and stupid teenager, in this very enclosure we had a Burmese python, and it was my job on the day to feed her. So I had a nice fat rabbit, and I went in there, and there were some visitors on the other side. Now, I at the time had, in my bravado, said to my partner, don't worry, I've got this. You can go quickly grab the tongs. I'll be right back. Very stupidly, I went in, and there were tourists, and I wanted to show off in front of them. And I held the rabbit in front, showed the snake, and looked away, smiled at the tourists, and immediately felt the bite on my hand. The Burmese python had missed the rabbit completely, latched onto my hand, and it felt like a car door lined with fish hooks just slamming onto my hand. But luckily I remembered my training. I stayed calm. I didn't pull back, because if you pull back they go, prey, and they start wrapping around, right? So I just waited, and I waited, all the while smiling at the tourists, trying not to cry, and they were just staring at me like and eventually then she let go, and I just took myself out, closed the enclosure, and then proceeded to just have like a little afterwards, and then my partner at the time came back and wrapped my hand, and we sorted it out. But so bottom line, don't show off and be very careful and calm with the animals and make sure everything's set. Okay, so then, sorry, you get bitten, you put the animal away, you radio, and then obviously head off to, well, I think we wrap it, yeah, make sure, and then head off to the hospital and hope for the best. Okay, great. Well, let's get into the meat of it, right? So Sam, I hope that answered your questions about the speed with which you have if you get bitten by black mamba. Obviously, ideally we want to avoid interacting with the black mamba in the first place. Them and green mambas. I know when I was in Natal, there was always talk of green mambas and tree snakes, like boomslangs, right? Okay, so tree snakes actually, tree snake is a different snake, but if I directly translate boomslang, it is tree snake in Afrikaans. But oh, here we go. So there's our big, beautiful anaconda. All right. And there are, there's two, well actually now I think they've identified a third species of anaconda, but at the time there was these green anacondas, yellow anaconda, and I think they've just identified a new subspecies of, I think it was also green anaconda, which is significantly larger than your regular anaconda, so they already get huge. Ah, look at her, she's absolutely gorgeous. All right, when we get into traders and we get to weigh her, we can maybe pop the lid and have a proper look at her. She's very disturbed. She's like, oh, you disturbed my nap. Also nice and stimulated. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, she's sitting there. Let's quickly take a look at her face while we got her. Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in here. So you can see she's got her tongue out, she's smelling, she's looking around, just trying to get a grip of what's going on here. You can't see the heat pits super well, but they're near the front of her face there. But okay, now she's going back in. Like, no, I want to be in my nice, quiet enclosure. All right, well, let's, oh, she's so beautiful. Look at all the colorations. Look at all that. Very, very smooth. So some people think that snakes are slimy. Untrue completely. They're beautiful. They're very, they're like silk. Very silky. You can see the eyes there as well. So again, they're constrictors. So they will use their tremendous muscles, their bulk, to crush the life out of their prey. And eventually, when they're sure that the prey is dead, they will then unwrap themselves, move around, and swallow it whole. And how often do we feed them during winter?
So during winter, we will offer them food like every second week.
Every second week. And for an anaconda like this, what would we feed her?
She loves rodents. We also offer rabbits as well.
Okay. And during summer, how often would we feed her?
After a big meal, then it's once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So winter, smaller meals, closer
meals,
together.
Yeah.
Summer, big meals further apart.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. All right. Well, let's go and see how heavy she is, and we'll wait for some more questions in the meantime. Everyone, do feel free to ask us questions. We're here. You can ask us about any of our reptiles, not just our snakes. Our snakes are our focus today, but feel free to ask any other questions. They can be about the ranch in general as well, and we're happy to answer. Pleasure. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to take our anaconda through to Traders, which is our photo experience center, but also where we keep some of our snakes. And it's just a convenient area. We put down a scale, and then we put the snake into the container, and we pop it onto the scale, and we weigh her. So we're going to see how she's doing, and in doing this, in fact, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, why do we weigh the snakes? What is the benefit of knowing the weight of the snake?
Let's say maybe the snake gets sick and it has to go to the vet. It's very important to know the weight of the animals in case of the injection that can be given for certain sickness or... Right,
so okay, for medication or even anesthetic, yes. So knowing the weight, obviously how much to give them. Yeah. And is there any other reason that we track the weight?
Also not to, let's say, have a fat snake.
Right, not
So
to
try
overfeed.
control,
Okay, yeah. So keep the if we humans looked after ourselves half as well as we look after our pets and snakes in that way, you know, we feed them the right amount, keep them fit and healthy.
Yes.
That's what we should be doing. Okay, great.
It also helps to see if we are overfeeding or misfeeding. So the weighing is also important.
And I think if a snake is sick as well, much like with people or even other animals, if they start losing weight, it's also an indicator something is wrong, and it's a good way of keeping track of them. All right, cool. Okay, let's go and see how big she is. In fact, actually, wait, hang on. Let's from everyone here. I want to get a let's try and guess in advance. Let's try and see. Okay, so we know that the African rock python, you said, was about 20 kilograms. Now I think she looked a similar size, but that doesn't necessarily match her because she has thicker muscles overall, so she could weigh a bit more. I'm going to put her at I'm going to say 23 kilograms. That's my guess. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, what do you think?
18.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin?
I would say I also will go with 18.
18.
Yeah,
You go. I'm saying you probably weighed her more recently. So okay, I'm going 23. They're saying 18. 18. Samantha, Kylie, anyone else watching? Throw in your guesses while we go. You guys go ahead so long. They're going to turn on the scale. Let's see who else gets it right. I'm on two minds about this because obviously if they get it wrong, then they haven't been paying close attention to their snake. On the other hand, that means then I win. Okay, so Kylie's reckoning about 22, 21. All right, let's see who else there. And then I'll answer the other questions in a minute. Let's see. Samantha's saying, did any of the reptile enclosures get damaged with the flood you experienced recently? Samantha, no, luckily. We actually, our reptile enclosures were well out of the issues, or the issue zone, so to speak. We did evacuate these guys. So the river area is just behind where we are now. So these are our encounter snakes. Sorry, my gimbal is losing its mind here. So these are our encounter snakes. When people come here and they want to, meet a snake or along those lines, then these are our snakes that we do the encounter with. In fact, can we quickly introduce them? Who we got here?
This is a female boa constrictor.
Female boa constrictor. Okay, and where are they from?
South America.
Yes.
South America. Okay, fantastic. Look at, she's beautiful. Okay, and are both of them boa constrictors?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a male and a female, and this one that you're with now, that's a male.
Okay.
Boa constrictor.
Yeah, and they're our big, beautiful boa constrictors that when people are here, they can encounter, they can touch, and in that way learn that snakes are not really as scary as everyone thinks. Just the right amount of scary. And okay, so this is the area that was closest, Samantha, to the river. We did evacuate them. Did we evacuate any of our other snakes? Not from the snake park.
Not from the snake park.
No.
Only these two.
Only these two.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, they were evacuated, but this area luckily didn't get damaged by the water at all. So when it was safe, we returned them. And then it was fine. So luckily, none of our reptiles were harmed in the moving. Okay, so we've got some more votes in. Samantha says 19, and then Kylie said, actually changed her mind to 17. All right.
It still needs to deduct the weight of the container.
Container, okay. What is the weight of the container?
2.95.
Okay, 2.95. So whatever we see on the mark, it's minus 2.95. All right, now let's see the moment of truth. Actually, can you lift that there? It'll be easy to see. 18.85. So we minus 2.95 from that. What do we get? Sorry, my math is terrible.
Did you zero it?
Yeah, I did. 18.85 minus 2.95. 15.9.
Okay, so Kylie actually got the closest because she said 17. Okay, 15.95. Is that that's with an expected range for our anaconda?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're thinking maybe it push up, but now due to winter, they less.
Kylie did mention asking if they eat a lot in winter, so obviously they don't because it's being winter, so her weight would go down a bit during winter.
But we did offer food as well, but she refused because of the conditions.
Of course, yeah. When it's cold, they're not going to eat because then they can't digest, and it'll just sit there and get rotten in their stomach. So it's a good thing that she didn't end up taking it. Yeah. She's getting her summer body. She's slimming down in advance. Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, maybe can we open and just take a look at her again one more time before we put her back? All right. So she's nicely coiled up. Much like a cat, they just kind of, unwind to fill the space that they're in. There she is. She's absolutely beautiful. You can see that tongue coming out again, just detecting the smell around you, smelling us, smelling the area. And of course, the more we interact with them, the more comfortable they get with us, with our smells, and less likely to cause them stress as a result. She's absolutely beautiful. I know that some snakes, I don't know if it's with anacondas, but some snakes at the base of their tail, they have bony spurs, which is a leftover from evolution when they used to be like lizard type animals. With some snakes, you can see the bony spurs. I don't know if you can do that with the anaconda.
You can actually see what the boa constrictor they still have.
Could we see quickly? I think it'll be quite interesting for everyone. So, yeah, lizards and snakes shared a common ancestor millions of years ago. And with the boa constrictors, we can still see, like I said, those bony spurs, which are just like little leftovers from legs that they used to have. So we're just going to quickly take a look so you guys can see. Fantastic. Okay, sitting nice and comfortably. All right, let's see these spurs. Okay, so over here we have her cloaca, which is what birds and snakes and other reptiles have, which is their singular orifice for defecation, but also for sexual activity. And these little pits, right? Those are the the black marks. So the spurs are in there. So this would have then been where the legs historically or evolutionary would have come out. So there and there. And if you see you can actually feel. You can see it there, right there. That little thing right in front of my finger. That is the little bone there. So, thank you. Let's see her face as well. Maybe we can spot some of the pits there. Here you go. Okay, beautiful. So you might have noticed that on the poster that we had for International Snake Day, it was our two boa constrictors. So right now we're doing a nice little circle roundabout right to the end of our thing there. Great.
So between the boa constrictor and the anaconda, you will feel just muscle when you feel the boa constrictor, and the anaconda, his body is so soft.
Oh yes, in comparison.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. I suppose it also depends on because I think anacondas don't tend to climb trees a lot. They're mostly water snakes and also on the ground, whereas boa constrictors tend to climb a bit more. Yeah. So their musculature will be slightly different. They'll be more prone to gripping and climbing, and the anaconda will just kind of use its bulk to just kind of on top of something. Okay, fantastic. If anyone else has any other questions, we're going to be putting back our boa now, and then we'll be taking back our anaconda. But feel free to ask any questions. This is our Q&A session. And I'd also just like to say, obviously, this is International Snake Day. We're celebrating our snake friends today. Kevin, why don't, if someone's watching this and they go, oh, that's well and pretty, the snake looks great, or they might go, ooh, gross snake. But why would we want to celebrate snakes in the first place? Why would we even want to look after them? Most people are afraid of snakes. What can we say to help them understand?
To be quite honest, I was afraid of snakes as well. But coming here to the ranch changed my whole perception about snakes. In general, snakes play a very important role to the ecosystem. If we end up just killing snakes because we are afraid of them, then the rodent population will explode, and then we will end up, they will destroy crops and everything. So snakes just keep the rodent population at bay, and snakes play a very important role in the ecosystem. So snakes aren't not that bad after all. So they are very beautiful animals. Even if you have a cat or a dog, they are just different. But
They perform their function.
Yes,
right? Yeah,
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I mean, I think they're adorable, and I think they can make great companions. They'll never hug you in the same way a dog would, but you know, they're special in their own way. And 𝗵𝗃𝗃, was it the same for you? I mean, I know a lot of people grow up in their households and they're just terrified of snakes, especially their parents. And it's not a bad thing to be taught when you're young, avoid snakes, because if you don't know what you're doing, you could end up playing with a venomous snake. Yeah. But I don't think you need to be afraid of it to the point where you kill it either. You know, call someone who knows what they're doing to remove the snake. But was it the same for you? Or?
Yeah, it was the same because we were taught that if you see a snake, you better kill it. Up until I was here at Cango Wildlife working with them, it's not necessary for us to kill them, as Kevin mentioned, that they play an important role in our ecosystem. So we have to conserve them so that there's no spread of parasite and diseases. Yeah.
Makes sense. And I mean, yeah, again, all animals form part of their ecosystem, and we must be willing to let them do their thing and not harm them unnecessarily. Even snakes, even if we're afraid of them. And no one's saying that you should, you know, not be wary around them. If you don't like snakes, if you don't know what you're doing, that's fine. But they're not nearly as bad as you think they are. When you do encounters like these at the Wildlife Ranch, when you come and experience them and speak to people who know things about them, you will learn a lot more about them and hopefully come to realize that they're not nearly as scary as you might think, right?
Yeah. Even the hognose, which is mildly venomous, I fell in love with him.
But it is a beautiful snake. It's a very cute little nose thing. So, okay, that's a good question. Maybe we'll end this off on. What is your favorite snake on the ranch, Kevin? Is it the hognose?
Overall, hognose.
Hognose. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. And yours, 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃?
There's two.
These, the boa constrictors.
Yeah.
You have to pick one. You have to pick one.
These are boa constrictors.
Yeah, that's shame. If you say it in front of them, they'll get a complex. Okay, no, I think a nice simple choice like the two boa constrictors. I think that's a good choice. Me, I'm a very big fan. We have a coral snake on here. It's a type of little coral cobra. In fact, maybe it's quiet enough for us to quickly go and look. Can I take one of you? I know I'm assuming you have to say yeah. So 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, or one of you come with me quickly. We'll go look at the coral snake while it's quiet, and then we'll come back here. So one last snake we're going to do before we round off. We have a Cape coral snake, which is here in our restaurant area. We didn't start off there because it's a bit noisy, but it looks like it's quieted down, and it's my favorite snake, so I want to go and see it. So yeah, this is our restaurant area. People can come and sit and enjoy a meal, and if they're feeling very brave, they can come sit in this corner where we have a handful of iguanas sitting up here enjoying the heat. Absolutely beautiful things, albino iguana and a regular green iguana. And over here we have a few things like tarantulas. I'm not a huge fan, but you know, they serve their purpose in the ecosystem. Even me, who's arachnophobic, I'll acknowledge that they serve their purpose. And down here as well, I think we have one that's in its burrow. Also here, also you can see its little feet sticking out there. Also have some minnows, very cute little minnows. And finally, here we go. Trying to find it. Here's our Cape coral snake. Absolutely beautiful, related to a cobra, but not actually a cobra. It also has a small hood. In fact, the photo, here's a go. It's photo you can see. So it has just a little bit of a thicker neck, which can flare out, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. Also mildly venomous, I think it was neurotoxic. Yeah, found in the Cape area, Namibia, and no, they're stunning. It's very small, 49 to 76 centimeters. You can see they don't get much bigger than this, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. Okay, and I think that's it from us. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, do you have any parting words for our guests about snakes in general?
Since we're celebrating the reptile, I think it's important to take care of these guys. As we show you guys the Cape coral, these guys, they are normally killed by the roadside, which is also affecting their conservation status. As my colleague mentioned, that they play an important role in our ecosystem, so we need to respect them for them to respect us and give them love, because not most of people love them.
Yes, I completely agree. Okay, Well, thank you so much, 𝗃𝗃𝗃. Let me do our sign off here, and then I'm sure you want to get back to Kevin and help him move the snake back into his enclosure. Okay, so there we are, everyone. That is International Snake Day. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. I love being around snakes. I was the assistant reptile curator many years ago, so it's always a treat for me to work with the snakes. So yeah, thank you very much all for joining us, and I hope we answered all of your questions. We'll keep an eye out, obviously, on the videos moving forward if anyone has any further questions or comments and such. And feel free to interact with us, send us messages on our Facebook, our YouTube, general messages or anything along those lines if you have any further questions, or if you just want to ask about things about the ranch in general. And we hope you all come visit us, and keep an eye out on our pages. We do live streams fairly often, and we're always putting out new things on our YouTube and Facebook, etc. And we're happy to have all of you here with us and interacting with us. Just double checking the last of the messages here. Samantha says, thank you to all the staff at the ranch. They've been doing a fantastic work looking after all the animals. Thank you, Samantha. I really appreciate it. And 𝗁𝗂𝗃𝗃 says, thank you so much for all the information and lots of greetings from Germany. You are very welcome, 𝗁𝗂𝗃. Appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone who joined us today. Really, it's always special to be able to share this with everyone, especially for those maybe who can't join us today, or who have been with us in the past. It's great to have you here with us in this fashion. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and we'll see you again at the next live stream. Bye-bye.